the blame on obstructionist Democrats for stalled legislation, leading to the delayed recess. But is the GOP party to blame for its own problems? We're back with the panel right now, Deroy Murdock and Capri Cafaro. You know, they can't seem to get out of their own way. And I will tell you, Deroy, it's a little frustrating here as an observer on the sidelines, because I think Americans have sent those politicians to Washington for a reason. They gave them the House, they gave them the Senate, they gave them the White House. And if you're going to tell me you can't get anything done, well then, you know, shame on you.
Yeah, well, then maybe you should let somebody else do it. Look, I think the Congress is basically engaged in malpractice by having 7 years to come up with a solution or a replacement for Obamacare. And let's even forgive them that. They certainly had from November 9th, when Donald Trump came in and they realized we're going to have a Republican House, Republican Senate, and a Republican White House. Let's get our acts together. Let's go to a retreat somewhere, go to the Greenbrier or somewhere else, and sit down for a couple of weeks and hash this out and come up with a solution.
Well, look,
and
Dr. Tom Price, who is now our HHS secretary, was an author of a repeal and replace plan when he was in the budget chairman seat.
They had many plans. They had to pick one and stick with it. And they're still floundering around trying to find something. That's very frustrating and very, very demoralizing for those of us on the right who put these people in to run the House, the Senate, and the White House, and you're still seeing them.
I got to tell you, from market perspective, I'm looking at these valuations, and they're up there, right? So as one guest said to me today, and I thought this was a great way to put it, so I'll share it with you. He said, Americans, investors have put a down payment on Donald Trump, and that down payment comes with some strings attached. They want health care reform, and they want tax reform, and by the way, they want some infrastructure spending too.
That's right.
So that's what's baked into the market right now, Capri. So how does this administration follow through?
It's going to be incredibly challenging because it's really difficult to reconcile the moderates in the Senate. And we saw this play out in the House as well. The moderates in the Senate and the strong conservatives in the Senate. You know, one, they say repeal and replace. That's it. We have to repeal. And then there are others, Rob Portman, Sherry Moore Capito from West Virginia, for example, that say, no, we're concerned about the implications with Medicaid, with those with pre-existing conditions. You know, Ted Cruz is throwing around, you know, plans that might be a compromise. It's going to be very difficult. But healthcare, as you know, in talking with your previous guest, is just one small piece of the puzzle of this agenda prior to the end of the federal fiscal year, which is September 30th.
Yeah, you know what? And they're all living in their own little fiefdoms, right? They all are concerned about their own constituents. Right, and I get it. You know, they need to get reelected. But the problem is you need some kind of ability to come together if you're going to tackle
this. And Democrats need to come to the table, too.
I think they could do this very quickly.
Yes.
And that is to pass some sort of repatriation measure to get all that money sitting overseas, have it come back at 5 or 10%
I love
tax.
that idea.
Do it quickly, because everyone agrees on that.
I love that idea. But make it permanent. Make it permanent, because we've tried it before. And the temporary stuff doesn't work. I agree. Thanks so much. Good to see you guys. You're going to come back a little bit later and later in the show. We have